never good when you're like moving stuff around and then suddenly you look over and you're moving a little bit of a screen and something unplugs and you're not too sure what exactly you unplugged.
What wire does this connect to?
Yeah. But hey, we got camera, we got sound. So far, so good. No, I think it was my external hard drive. So, anyways, this is Munchies with Max. I am Maximilian Mormont, Hermit Coach. We are MaxFit USA, CrossFit Costa Mesa, and I got Mikey Wins, my favorite host, co-host, easy, my favorite co-host, Mike. We got a pretty good program today. Little quick punch at it. One thing that I was kind of wanting to bring up was the warm-up flow structure. I don't realize why a lot of people struggle with a warm-up flow structure. And what I mean by that is ensuring that what you're doing is kind of building on the previous exercise or the previous movement or the previous thing that you chose to do or modality. And then in order to get the best out of each one, right? So I always recommend that if I were to choose 10 things to put into my warm-up or in our warm-up flow, the way this works is that we do a foam roller or self-myofascial release first. So we focus on soft tissue. Then we move into monostructural movement. So we do some form of cardio, running, jogging, jump roping, skiing, sled drag, you name it. You don't want it, we don't got it kind of idea, right? Then we go into an active warm-up, which we call a floor routine or a field routine. And then a dynamic warm-up would be more like what we would call our gymnastics prep or gymnastics warm-up. But it could vary from runs in between. It could vary like shuttle sprints. It could be plyometrics. It could be something that's somewhat reactive. It could even be when we do high knee tuck, lunge, Spider-Man, and triangle versus a step up. So you could say a step up supine. Step up is active, and then the high knee tuck, lunge, Spider-Man, triangle is dynamic. So they kind of flow back and forth. But I think of dynamic as now I'm starting to move a little bit more versus the active. I'm more sedentary in my movement. Then I go into joint mobility or lengthening. And this is where I feel like a lot of people get it wrong, where they want to do distraction or they want to do a lot of yanking on the joint prior to those other things that I labeled. I mean, you don't necessarily have to do the activation, like the active warm-up or the dynamic warm-up, but you sure as shit should be doing the foam rolling and the monostructural movement before yanking on a joint. Even static stretching, you should be at least taking a warm shower or being inside of a warm room and at least starting to sweat and then start to sweat, like stretch, never really stretching while you're cold. There is benefits to stretching cold and doing actual treatments cold, specifically in things like that. But you have to be under very good eye, very good care, and understanding what you're doing. Nothing very easily to injure yourself. So again, we go foam roll, monostructural movement, active warm-up, dynamic warm-up, joint mobility or lengthening, and then we go muscle activation. So, which would be like prehab or rehab or what I call fluff. Muscle activation is crucial for me personally after joint mobility or lengthening or distraction, if you will, because I want to wake up the muscles or the activation, the muscles around the joint that I just lengthen or are kind of distracted. So I want it to still, even though now it has more range of motion, I want it to fire correctly. So therefore it's not asleep and then it slides even further or have more issues, or it fires improperly. And while it's actually have a little more slack, I get a little bit of a pull one way or another. Then core activation, balance, functional movement or integrated movement or movement prep, workout prep, and then reactive. And reactive would be like when we do a bar warm up on a coach's call. So ready, go, down, go, So things like that. We'll make calls for the barbell to ensure that we get our members to be reactive. And then with our athletes, obviously, we do speed and agility drills, SAQs. We do barbell cueing that way as well. So that way they're reactive to our cue. And we do some gymnastics, calisthenics that way. I don't really do the pull-ups that way, but now that I'm talking about it, I might actually teach the kip, the swing, and the scap work as a giant group the next time we are able to do that. So those are our workout and our warm-up flows. Again, that's our structure. And I'm pretty proud of it. I like how it works. I like what we do. And if you ever want more information in regards to that, just email me, Max at CrossFit Costa Mesa or Max at MaxFit USA, and ask me some questions. Or if you disagree, put it in the comments. Okay. Mikey, did you see my snooze snack? But let's get into the question real quick, and then we'll get into the what did I label it when I sent it to you? Snore carb.
Snore carb. I was like, what the hell is a snore carb?
That's like no carb. So we have question. Dear Diary. No, ask Coach Max. Do I need to strength train and do cardio every day? How long do I need to do a workout for, and how long do I need to do cardio? Do I need to vary my workouts to see results? Thank you. Okay. Well, to start off, there was a little bit more involved in the question. Obviously, this was a female, she told me, and then also she was really eager to structure lean body mass, which is really cool to hear women speak about these days, specifically to build lean body mass and cut body fat, but then also to develop a skill as well. So let's answer the first question. Do I need to strength train and do cardio every day? Absolutely not. I always talk about training. My favorite regimen is 5 days a week, 3 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off, or my favorite is 4 on, 1 off, 1 on, 1 off. Those are the best ways to do it. You could go 2, 1, and then 3. Doesn't matter. But majority of us don't work or don't have a lot of work to do on Sunday. But if you guys have another 2 days off somewhere else, I would use one of those as your rest day. So again, only training 5 days a week, strength training that way. I would do that. I don't really like 6 days. The cardio, I would ramp it up. So I would do 3 days a week, and then I would go 4 days a week, and then I would work at it 5 days a week. And I would do it separate of my strength training. I might still warm up long, obviously, per what we talked about. I would warm up long, and then I would have a cool down, but I would take my 30 minutes, 20-minute cardio piece, and I would put it somewhere else. And depending on what my goals are, if I'm trying to lose fat, if I'm trying to create a lot of aerobic capacity or anaerobic capacity, I would gear my training towards that. So that's the answer my strength training and conditioning question. How long do I need to work out for? I really, really like the 60 to 90-minute window. I do not like outside of the 90-minute window. I see a lot of poor development in lean body mass. We tend to work out somewhere around like the 2-hour mark, even when we start doing longer sessions. But that's warm up, cool down, dicking around included. But outside of that, I don't really like the 2.5, 3 hour sessions. We do use them just to keep our mental sharpness or to develop a certain type of volume that we're trying to get. But the quality of it diminishes quite frequently or pretty fast. So we have to be aware of it. Last thing. Do I need to vary my workouts to see results? No. and I know this pains me to say it because I'm a big believer in the CrossFit modality, and I do like randomization, but I do need to understand that adaptation is key, and maladaptation will bite me in the butt. So if I vary something too often and I don't really develop the skill that I suck at or the skill that I'm good at, I'm really going to start creating maladaptation. And I don't really want to have this issue of constantly changing too much before I become good at something. Now, the longer I do something, the more likely I start to adapt. And then when I start to over adapt, I almost start to create a pattern overload. And then it's more likely that I could create an injury. So like someone that snatches and clean and jerks, like myself, when I was a competitive weightlifter, you'd snatch, clean and jerk 5 days a week. And then you might do it twice a day. And that's literally traditional just snatching and clean and jerks, not like hang snatch and power snatch and just snatch, clean and jerk, come back, snatch, clean and jerk. Obviously you add in some accessory work in there as well, but it's very Groundhog Day like, and that alone can create a lot of wear and tear on the body. But you know what? You get really effing good at snatching and clean and jerking. So adaptation is key. With the cardiovascular, we talked about that in another session, and we said that you don't want to change it too frequently, too often, especially at a beginning level. And then same thing with the strength training. You want to have a progression in your percentages or in your overall load, but understanding that if I could repeat week 1, week 2, and then if I want to make it varied again and then repeat 3, 4, make it varied again 5, 6, and then I'm looking at it that way. That would be something that will work very well. And if you look at our program on MaxFit or at CrossFit Costa Mesa, we follow a very strong structure of almost 2 to 3 weeks of very similar workouts, and then they get kind of dismantled and then reset. Okay, great question. I don't think I did it justice on how I read it.
It was a triple decker of a question, sir. 3 different layers.
For sure. Okay. So my snore carb, oh man, look at this setup. Wow. Someone's really trying to keep me positive.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Jerky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that edamame?
It is snow snap peas.
Oh, snap peas and mustard.
With the no, it's a vegetarian queso.
You can stop there. You can stop.
Yeah, vegetarian queso. And then I have some beef sticks. So 1 beef stick. So it's very good. Okay. Let's look at this. I posted on my Instagram today, Mikey. On our Instagram. But I actually was looking at it, and it's really not that bad. I really feel like
vegan cheese. You're looking at 70 calories, 1 gram of protein, 3 to 7 grams of fat. That's not bad.
The queso dip, yep. I used 45 calories of it, 3 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fat, and 2 grams of protein.
Where'd you get the jerky from?
The jerky was the Gray's Sticks Original Mission's meat. It is 80 calories, 1 gram of carb, 6 grams of fat, 7 grams of protein. And then my Sugar Snap peas are 35 calories, 6 grams of carbs, 2 grams of protein. And then basically for my snack, I end up having 315 calories, but I'm also going to drink a protein drink and a little bit of PB&J before I go to sleep.
Which of the 5 of the 5 that you posted did you use for the protein?
My go-to when I was recording it, I had to redo it because I kept saying Optimum Nutrition. My go-to. This is my absolute. Gold standard, yeah. And then
Gold standard.
every one of those, I kept saying, "This is my absolute favorite." This is my, and then Jillian was like, "Just pick one. Just pick one. Just pick one." And I was like, "Well, at different times they've done phenomenal things for me, but right now, since I go to Costco and it's just easier to get one thing at one stop, the more the merrier." So I just grab it. I enjoy it.
I'm on Ascent. I love Ascent.
Ooh.
Ascent. Really good. $40 on Amazon.
I'll have to try it. I don't think I've ever tried it.
Oh, it's so good. Grass-fed whey. You don't get that like that bloat that you normally get from like processed whey, which is great. So you're not farting in the middle of the night.
I don't get that from the Optimum Nutrition, but that makes sense why I keep taking it. Any protein that I start farting on like that.
Nope. All done.
No.
All right, that's a healthy snack today. Okay.
No.
I can see why you made me start cutting the clips out. not when we're having ice cream.
Now we got yeah. Now we got to post the snacks. We're not having four pints of Ben and Jerry's talking about fitness. Mm-hmm. Time to move on.
Maxi, you help people lose weight?
No. I was on a actual FaceTime call. Milo had on the phone. I walked by and I hear my mom tell my dad, "Vos viste ese panza que tiene Max?" And I'm like, "Dude, I speak Spanish." I mean, just because you suddenly spoke it in Spanish and you were speaking English to the kid a second ago doesn't mean I didn't understand what you just said. And basically, they were like, she asked my dad, "Hey, did you just see Max's stomach?" And so,
so we have the vegetarian queso,
here we go,
and a beef stick.
Slow carb diet. Here we go. All right. Mikey, today's workout. Ooh, what a big FU Monday it was today. So if you guys didn't know, we did a 10-minute AMRAP. So it was a double-decker. 10-minute AMRAP of one round of Mary, which is 5 handstand push-ups, 10 alternating pistols, and then 15 pull-ups. And then after you finished the round of that, you had to do a round of DT, which is 12 deadlifts, 9 hang power cleans, and then 6 push jerks. At the RX weight was 135. You do that for 10 minutes, see how many rounds you get. The goal was to get 2 to 3. And then you would rest 5 minutes to move into another 10-minute AMRAP of 1 round of Cindy, which is everyone's favorite bodyweight movement workout. 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats. After that, you would do 1 round of the bear. And 1 round of the bear equals 7 of a squat clean into a thruster into a rack thruster. Or if you broke that up, it would be a power clean, thruster, right? Mm-hmm. And then onto your back, squat into a rack push press or thruster, rack thruster if you want to do it. Yeah, but if you broke it up that way, it would be instead of 21 movements, you're doing 42 movements. No, that's terrible. Or it could be a power clean, front squat, push press, back squat, rack jerk.
Oh, God.
Sometimes
you go.
You gotta be patient.
Yeah, I went too fast when you had us do the heavy for a single at 185, and that made me bite my neck a little bit.
Hey man, the good night or the goodbyes, they'll get you, man. Those 2 exercises. The good night is on the back of your neck, and then the goodbyes is your elbows out the back.
All right, so let's look at the weight. So for RX weight, it was 135 for DT and 95 for the bear. Of course, we were going lower, and it was nice because we had to physically remove the weight. So there was no way you can stack weight and then like take weight off or add weight on. It was removal of the weight, and then you had to go heavier to lighter. RX Plus was 155, 115, which is normally the weight that you would do for RX in DT. And then Bear is just increasing in weight. So 115 was for the RX Plus kids. Who do we have here for the comment? Oops. Why is my, there we go. Max always breaking down movements like crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. We got the baguette.
What's up, buddy? Yeah, man. I was pretty pumped on the little segment because I was asked like to do some well, my dog's not happy. I was asked to do some segments on movement prep, and I was like, no, I'd rather do some like how can we fix stuff on the fly kind of situation. So I'm gonna keep playing with that. I don't know. Let me know if it helps or it doesn't. Afterwards, I started rolling out. I was way too relaxed, but I got too much range of motion on the elbows on that one. It was a little tough. But
so we got some pretty good scores here. Some people made it past 3 rounds. We got Purcern at DT got out of the 3rd round and finished 8 deadlifts. Our resident firefighter, Jeff Steele, one of our resident firefighters, Jeff Steele, finished 3 rounds there at 135. Mikey Algren with 2 rounds, 5 handstand push-ups, 10 alternating pistols, 15 pull-ups. So we got through 3 rounds of Cindy and then did 9 deadlifts in the DT. And then on the ladies' side, G, holding up for the ladies here, 2 rounds. Got through everything and just missed the 3rd round by 5 push jerks there. Lacey missed it by alternating pistols, 6 pull-ups. She almost finished the 3rd round of Mary. And then Lily Speed got 2 rounds there. Then on the Bear side.
Damn, Jillian beat me on both. I only did the deadlifts on that. And then on the Bear, I didn't get back to my bar.
Okay.
Or I finished the bar. What did she do?
She finished with 10 push-ups, so she got 3 rounds.
I did 3 rounds.
Almost 4. Yeah.
Son of a bitch. I did 3 rounds, 5 pull-ups.
She got 10 push-ups.
I see you, Mormont. Go ahead.
Pacern got something close to his first round too. Look, almost 12 air squats. Almost got to the 4th round of the Bear. Phil with 3 rounds full, 95 pounds. 95 pounds there for Mikey Algren. Dean with 95 pounds got to the air squats. It was a whole different game for a lot of them because a lot of them, when I was coaching 7 o'clock class, they were like, "Oh yeah," I'm like, "Unbroken Bear." Oh, never mind.
Yeah, totally. Everything's good. Everything is not good.
Everything is not good.
The best part is like, oh, so I go up, and you're like, no, you go down.
You go down. Yeah.
But it looks like less movements, less reps. No, you go down. So should I stay the same weight? No, you go down. You don't know how many times I had to say that to people today. And then finally got to the point where I'm like, I almost wanted to be like, yeah, you go up. You go up. Go ahead.
No.
Load the Bear. And I'm going to man. I wouldn't sleep right at night. Come on. Come on.
And then on the modified side here, we had the Fit Plus. Piehead with 4 rounds here. Okay, he did fit with the bar alone. That's good. Dave Ramirez with 75 pounds. Ooh, almost getting to that 4th round of Bear. Tyler Nelson the same. Finished 5 pull-ups. On the girl side, Giselle 3 rounds, 5 pull-ups here. She did bent over rows. Lily Ramirez finished 10 air squats, almost getting to her 4th round. Aaron with getting to the Bear. Did 1 round of the Bear in the 4th round, so she got through one of the reps of the sequence.
That's really good.
Yeah, and that's it for today's workout.
All right. Okay. Stop eyeballing me. Stop eyeballing me. I was playing with something so that way I could see if it would give us a different different sound, different look. Okay.
I was actually talking to Kelly, and she was all like, "Man, you guys have upgraded since episode 1."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I hope so.
You know, specifically, if we didn't have so many moving parts, yeah, we could put even more into it. I mean, think about what we did today was pretty exciting and pretty fun. And most of it was just us doing our parts and then just hitting each other up and like, hey, hey, hey. And it was really cool to see. And I mean, the stuff that we can put out, woo, I mean, there's so many options though. Like, you know, and it's all really comes down to what people really want to see and kind of hear and want to see me talk about. Cause I know what I want to talk about, but sometimes it can be like, ooh, I don't really want to hear that from you, coach. But what I want to hear is, and so the feedback, whenever I get that kind of feedback in regards to information, I really, really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. This one, I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know what happened there. Suddenly it came from the sky. So let's talk about, oh yeah. Whew. Okay. What about this haircut? Hey, just a heads up. If you get a loppy ass haircut like this, all right, it's nice. It's nice in the summer. Don't laugh at it. All right. It's nice in the summer. It's fresca, especially with as much curly hair as I have. Then the other thing that's nice about a loppy haircut like this is that it doesn't require a lot, right? But however, if you do not have something to hold it back or product in it, oof, game over. It looks like Carrot Top. You remember? Does anybody still remember who Carrot Top was? That's basically what it starts to develop into. Okay, so my rant today is in regards to coaching the coaches reach the way they reach their athletes in their ability to get to them or inspire them. Whether it's athletes or members, what exactly is the coach's reach? And coaches impact their athletes and members in many different ways, but mostly our goal is to develop a positive relationship. And this is always something that I strive for. And Mikey's like, what do you mean? Because you're really mean. But this is something that I strive for because of the way I coach. So because I'm very demanding, because I'm hard, because I'm honest, I also still want it to be very positive. And sometimes that's very kind of a really fine line. Because honesty sometimes is so hard that it doesn't seem like a positive experience, but it really, really is when it comes to fitness and reaching goals and staying on task. So the development of this positive relationship is key. Then the next thing is establishing a positive relationship with the athletes and coach and members through the coach's relationship is crucial to achieving effects. The effective communications. So my mind's wandering right now because I think of this like establishing a positive athlete, this relationship with athletes and members, but the coach relationship is critical in achieving effective communication. And that's where, like, if it becomes too much of a buddy, it's not an effective communication anymore. And I am always like taken by whenever I do any type of coach talk, because I'm always kind of evaluating myself, and I'm like, man, you're really hard on these people. You're really the TV, right? I put out this statement. I'm like, hey guys, somebody broke my TV. You weren't honest with me. I want honesty. And that's really what I strive for, honesty in this communication. And next thing you know, I got like, hey coach, there was this one time I went into the bathroom and I didn't really want to wash my hands. And so I kicked the top of your toilet, and I think I cracked your toilet back in 2000 and I think it was like 15 or something. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? So I had a lot of people come clean because I was being very very straightforward, very honest, and trying to create a positive line of communication with my members and athletes, even though it wasn't a very like positive hooray talk. It was a positive interaction in the sense to letting them know that, hey, my door is open and we're all adults and we should always be able to communicate with each other. And so I was really taken by that, really excited, and that's something where we always have to strive to do that. Then the last part is players and members need to feel that their coach cares about them, that they're a person and they're not just a tool or a piece of meat or a paycheck to win a game or to get paid, right? A lot of times I see coaches or trainers really kind of become really buddy, or not really, and not that that's a bad thing, but not in the sense of holding their clients accountable. Because what I tell my clients is that if you don't want to reach a goal and you just want to work out to have fun, just tell me that. Just let me know what your actual goal is, and then we can actually set forth that path, and we don't need to lie to each other. And by really showing that you care and having these honest conversations will allow for you to have really hard talks with your members and athletes, and they'll actually grow to love you more, and they'll actually grow to appreciate what you're doing for them. So that was just something that I wanted to rant about. And I just wanted to make sure that a lot of coaches out there with the reach that you have, don't abuse it, but don't really kind of be lax on it either. You have an opportunity to demand things from your members and your athletes. And I think that you could really crank up a lot of good results from that. Okay. Oof, Mikey, tomorrow's one. Oof, my legs. This is kind of mellow. I feel like it's mellow tomorrow.
Yeah, it's in the same modality that we did today.
Yeah, though. Right? Speaking of repeating stuff, is this varied? I mean, if you figured out that all I do is program monostructural movement, burpees, push-ups, pull-ups, and a barbell, we're screwed.
Well, tomorrow's workout is similar to today in the relative term of a time domain, but what we have here is 3 rounds for time. You got a 50 double unders, 15 overhead squats. RX weight here is 135.95. Once you finish that, you're going to rest 5 minutes, and then you're going to go for 5 rounds for time of a 100-meter run and 10 bar-facing burpees. So not a lot of time for your heart rate to slow down here. And then you have to do all of this within a time cap of 25 minutes. Standards are always the same. Make sure you hit depth. Overhead squats are going to be slightly heavy based on what was prescribed here. And then you don't really get, it's all cardiovascular after that, after the first section.
3, 2, 1, fight. Heavy? What do you mean heavy? It's the same weights that we used today, wasn't it? I mean, that was the.
Well, I mean, when it comes down to overhead squats, people are that's not like someone's forte. Like I could speak for a good portion of the gym where like overhead squats aren't something that we look forward to. Like, it's always something that's like always going to be like a fight. Well, for me, it's definitely a fight for sure.
So most people don't realize that you should squat. So whatever you back squat, you should front squat probably 50 to 100 pounds less. And then whatever you overhead squat should be 50 to 100 pounds less of your front squat. So if you have a 300 pounds back squat, you're probably going to have a 200 pound front squat, and you're probably going to have a 100 pound overhead squat, or give or take 50 pounds, right? You know, and that's going to vary a little bit, but that's how you can start really pushing some of your numbers. Now, obviously, when you start getting above the 500 pounds with the back squat, it's going to start changing for your front squat and your overhead, because there's going to be a maximal of 450, maybe 500 for the overhead. And then you got same idea for the front squat. You're going to go 450 to about 600, maybe 630 some lifters will use. And then after that, you're getting into more powerlifting numbers for the back squat, which turns into more of that like 6 to 1,000 pounds. But most Olympic lifters kind of shut it down at like the heavier weight. It's like 660s. So, but
simple, straightforward workout tomorrow.
Stop barking.
Yeah, I got barking, I got dog, and then the kids are asleep. Kids are asleep. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. The dog is actually barking at Jillian right now because it is her time. I'm in here with Munchies and she wants somebody to go outside and play with the ball. And she's like basically waited all day for this moment in time. And she's like, hey, clock's ticking. I know you guys are going to go to bed soon. I know that I have this window from like 10:30 to 11. It's my time. You're supposed to throw this ball. It's summertime outside. Let's go. So she's basically tired of waiting. So she's being a little bee. She's in her teen years. So tomorrow, let's talk about our next day agenda. So tomorrow, Tuesday, 6 ways to developing a new skill. So how can you develop a new skill? Identify your skill and what you want to build. So know exactly how you want to build that skill, but first identifying it is key. Then the next thing that you're going to do is set aside time every day. So give yourself 10, 20, 30 minutes, understanding that the more time you give yourself every day to build on this skill, the easier it will become to develop the skill. Then building a game plan to develop a specific skill. So not only have you identified how to build it and you identified that you want to build it, now you set aside time every day, but you're also going to build a game plan in order to develop this skill. So, hey, I'm going to draw 1 picture a day. Hey, I'm going to read 20 minutes a day. Hey, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to develop a skill. Then number 4 is invest in top quality resources for learning or getting a guru or someone to educate you on what you're trying to do. So for example, I've been enjoying taking photos. I don't really know anything about photos. I have a lot of people around me that know photos. So one thing that I've been doing is asking someone like Mike in regards to, hey, what can I do with my camera? What can I do with my camera? And I know that I have other people around me that can help me with my camera as well. But I would rather actually exhaust most of my resources with Mike. And then after Mike has taught me a lot, I'll still go to those other people. They're not going anywhere in my life. And then I'll ask them too. And I'll be a little bit more educated, but they might tell me or see things a little differently than what Mike sees it. And then I can improve on my skill even further. So those are things that a lot of us won't do in a hobby, but it's really easy to do in order to increase a skill. Okay. Set a clear goal of what you want to reach. What exactly is the skill that you want to reach, and what is it that's going to develop you to do? So, hey, I want to be able to free draw. I'm not quite there yet, so I should be practicing more than what I have been in the past, but I am getting much, much better. Today, I was able to draw with Milo holding my hand, and my goal was to be able to free draw. Now I can free draw fairly well, which before the quarantine, I wasn't even close to being able to do that. Now my new goal is to actually start drawing more depth, being able to have an ability to draw depth inside of my pictures and things like that. And then lastly, get started now. Just get it going. There's no other time like the present. Just make it happen. That's like when you want to have a kid, you're like, oh, when's the right time? It's never the right time, but it is always the best thing to do. So just remember that you got to just get on it, get going, and make it happen. Make it happen. where the night closes in. All right. I told you it was quick and to the point today. I was excited about today's session. Episode. I was pumped.
Episode 64.
64 in the books. Thank you, Mikey. Get some rest, man. You crushed it today. Talal, good job. Woo woo. Max hit. Go some.
That's not done for me yet. I gotta cut some stuff.
Go some Mesa. I know. I have to do some stuff too. My boss told me I had to do one more thing. One more thing.
What was that?
Oh,
I'll tell you this.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Nothing worse than getting bossed around by a teenager. Man, I love my team. All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. It's only Tuesday.
Seriously.